The easiest answer, but the one that requires the most care, is a simple and truthful response to the precise question that is asked. During this lesson, I will teach you how to exercise that care and still provide answers that will help the court, yet not overly hurt your side in the matter. In no particular order, questions that begin with, "Do you know?" or "Are you familiar with?" If you do know or are familiar with the subject of the question, you should answer those with a simple yes or no. Do not guess about what else the attorney may want or where that opening query might lead. Wait until the follow-up question that will no doubt clarify what he wants, where he's going, and what he expects you to comment on. Sometimes, however, questions begin with "Do you know?" and you really do not know, or you are not sure. If you do not know, then say, "I don't know." Nothing else. Do not offer any explanation of why you do not know. If you think a statement is true, but you are not sure how or why you seem to know, you are probably still best served by answering, "I don't know." Generally, if you assert that you know a fact in your field of expertise, the questioning attorney will then ask you, "How exactly do you know that, Mr. Expert?" The follow-on to that can be embarrassing to you. The simplest of factual questions only requires the simplest of factual answers. For example, how tall was the building? That only requires a numerical response, such as 175 feet. You should not offer any additional information about the building, such as, "It was made out of brick, it had double-pane windows, and was only 6 years old." You are asking for trouble by asking yourself and answering the questioner with unrequested additional information. If you offer unrequested extra information, you will almost always receive follow-up questions. They may ask questions such as, "Well, were the materials made out of brick? Were they single or double-pane windows? How old was the building?" The attorney is entitled to ask you additional questions about every word you incorporate into your response until he is sure that nothing valuable or relevant remains to be learned. More often than not, your expanded answers will lead to useful information for the other side. The net effect is that you will have done your side a disservice. Now, you may not recall some facts that you once knew. Just say so. "I don't remember." If subsequently asked why you do not remember, you can say that the answer lies within your notes, or within your report, or within an exhibit that you read. To refresh your memory, you could then ask to see the piece of evidence that you know contains the answer. But the key tactic to remember here is never speculate in an answer. Speculation is allowed during a deposition, and you may be invited to do so by an opposing attorney. However, you should never guess or speculate in any answer to any question, whether it's in a deposition or a trial. If an opposing attorney quotes your speculation from a deposition during a subsequent trial, he can make you sound less sure of your investigations or facts. Speculation offers the cross-examining attorney an opportunity to suggest that the jury should consider your speculations as legitimate alternatives. Do not allow yourself to be manipulated this way. Finally, you will not fully understand some questions. It may be as simple as misunderstanding the words used in the question. You may not fully understand because the question has many clauses. Perhaps it's ambiguous, it's compound, perhaps it's just outright confusing. Do not answer a question that strikes you in any of these ways. Your best answer is simply, "I don't understand your question." Leave it to the questioning attorney to decide whether to rephrase the question or move on to another one. A common error occurs when a question uses familiar terminology in an unfamiliar way. You will be tempted out of your grand knowledge of your field, to ask the attorney, which of several possibilities do you mean? And of course, knowing what those possibilities are, you may show off by listing all or some of them. The attorney at that moment will then ask you to give answers for all of those possibilities. Alternatively, and worse, you will be at the beginning of a completely new sequence of questions about each one of those possibilities. For example, Mr. Expert, the plaintiff is alleging that his medical records were still available online, even though they were supposed to have been removed from the doctor's database. Can you explain that? A bad answer would be, well, first, removed could mean purged or deleted, which have different meanings in computer technology. Even deleted has a variety of meanings. When one looks at computer storage from a forensics perspective, which of those possibilities did you mean? Terrible, terrible. A good answer would have been, I don't understand the question. Now, even though the question was compound, the use of the word removed is vague from a technical perspective. You suggested that in your long-winded answer. You should force the questioner to clarify the vagueness. You should never offer the questioner multiple possibilities from which to choose. They won't do that. If you do that, he will have you go down each of the paths that you bring up. If you simply answer that you did not understand the question, the attorney will probably ask a follow-on question like this. What part of my question did you not understand? And your best follow-up answer is a simple, yes focused, I didn't understand what you meant by removed in your question. So a key tactic then is that if you are not sure of what the attorney means by a question, say so. You may obviously know the English language interpretation of a word like removed. However, understanding individual words in a question is not enough. You have to understand what the questioner means when he asks the question. If you do not, your answer should be, I don't understand. Finally, there will be times when you need a break. More reasons exist for allowing this in a long deposition than in a short trial appearance. But whenever you need one, you may simply say, I need a break. In a deposition, your request alone is usually enough to grant you that break. In a trial, it will be the judge who will probably ask you why you need the break, and will then decide if you will get it.